Hi everyone, good to see us all today. Fortunately, I'm taking an afternoon walk, and thankfully, the sun is not so hot like it used to be. It actually just rained where I am, and yeah, most times when I feel my head is so full, the best thing I can do is to take a walk and talk, which is what I'm doing right now. Um, Something crossed my mind while I took this walk, which is it was a question actually, which was what is the change you hope to see in your world? Okay. I belong to this group, or there's this app I have on my phone that helps you connect to people around your neighborhood where you live. So there were, the app whereby, let's say you want to move, you want to sell some of your things, or you want to buy some things. If you just moved in, you want to get some, cheap things like furnitures, some little things here and there. Because a lot of people are moving in, a lot of people are moving out. So some people want to sell theirs, so others will be looking for where to buy things cheap. I mean, what's the point you going to like a regular store to buy, let's say a tissue stand you could buy in a normal store for let's say like $20 to $30 when you can buy it in a garage sale for $2 or $3 or even $5. So that's what this app is all about. It's like the app is like a place where neighbors and those within the neighborhood connects together, share ideas. Let's say there's a power outage. Somebody goes and say, "Oh, I have a power outage in my house. Does this happen to anyone, or is it just me?" Just here and there. Like right now, they are saying that the water in the city is not very safe for drinking. Just some little things you can find there that can be helpful. So there was something they posted on the app last week or 2 weeks ago, and it was the fact that someone posted, the title was scary. To me, it was scary, which is the title was missing mother or grandma or grandmother. I'm like, missing mother or grandma. So I had to go back to read what the story under the title says. Someone says he was taking a walk, or he was driving home and saw a very elderly woman, looks like she's in her 90s or even 100, really elderly woman. She was just roaming around. She said when she was going to buy something in the store, she saw the woman walking around, walking by herself, and she's like, it's not normal for this kind of elderly woman to be walking by herself at this time of the day inside this hot sun. So she pulled over, stopped her car, and asked the lady, like, "Ma'am, do you need some help?" The woman was not responding. So she tried to hold the woman, in a nice way, to explain to her, like, "Sorry, I see you've been walking around for some time now in this hot sun. I don't think it's really healthy for you. Do you need something? Do you want to go buy something? I can help you get there." You could tell that the woman was not, she was not communicating as expected. So she didn't snap the woman, of course, I know, because of privacy issues. She just posted it there that if you have a mother or grandma within so and so neighborhood, please kindly reach out, check on her, maybe if she has a caregiver or something, just to find out. So she held the woman for some time, and she discovered that, she realized that it's possible the woman might be having, maybe she might be demented, maybe dementia, or, one of these things that come with the elderly. So thankfully, I think she called the cops, and they came in and they were able to identify where the woman was coming from. So this really got me thinking, like, thankfully, I was so scared when I saw the advert. I'm like, oh, thankfully, someone came to her rescue. She was found, and she has been taken back to, to her children or to another nursing home. I'm not sure where she came from. So this got me thinking, because I'm sure most of you know I was originally born in Nigeria, born and raised in Nigeria, So I remember how sometimes they will see some elderly people, and the next thing that comes to mind is that they are witches. Why? Because maybe they are just rigmaroling, or maybe they try to leave their space, and probably they got lost, and the next thing you're seeing that somebody just comes up and says, oh, she's a witch. Maybe where she was going for some, some witch meetings or whatever, she got stuck. I've been hearing those kind of things, but I just felt something was not right, as in something is not connecting. I'll leave this story aside and move to another story again. In my former school, there was one class we had where I can't remember the name of the class, but the theme of the class was a situation whereby you will come out and give your story or your reason why you decided to pursue the nursing profession, right? So this lady came out. I think she was from Ghana, if I can remember, or Malay. I don't know, either Ghana or is she Ghanaian? I'm not sure if she was Ghana or maybe from Ethiopia. One of these African countries anyway. So she gave a story as to how her mom was in the US here. Looks like her mom had her at a young age, and it happened that she was raised by her grandma and aunties and all that. That's how it is in Africa. It takes a village to raise a child. That's the African, to me, that's what everybody practices in Africa, because you don't need your mom or your dad to be the only ones to correct you. Anybody can correct you if they see you doing something that is not right. So she was raised by her grandma. Let me change my direction. She was raised by her grandma. She talked about a point in time where all of them will go to bed after saying their evening prayers, and the next thing they will see is that the grandma, maybe they wake up in the morning and they can't find the grandma, and they will look for her for days. Like days can even run into weeks. Maybe by the time they will find her, maybe they can even find her in another village or in another vicine. Like, that is so scary, really scary. So she talked about it like the grandma might be having, some having dementia or whatnot. So I can imagine that kind of situation being, happening in the place where I grew up, where an old woman or an old elderly woman or an elderly man will get missing or wander away from the house and maybe wander to a strange place, and somebody just comes up to say, oh, that they are witches. God, I can't even relate. I can't explain that thing. Like, how did it even cross our mind to say those people are witches? I mean, ignorance is the word that we use, because ignorance is really digging deep into, I'm sorry to say, into Africa. So the change I want to see, right? This brings me back to the original topic, which is, what is the change you want to see? The change I want to see is the change whereby people will have a better understanding that these things are normal. That the elderly people are humans. They are not witches, okay? For the fact that even in the hospital, you can see, let's say a patient is admitted in let's say room 201. And the next thing that happens is that the patient is just carefully walks into, good afternoon, carefully walks into room maybe 206 or 207. Do you get? So this thing is normal. Even you as a human being, sometimes you miss your hostel. I don't even know. Sometimes you just miss it sometimes. Do you get? So how much more the elderly who are prone to this kind of a thing, right? So the change I want to see, actually the change whereby people will be involved. People will be compassionate enough to know that, these are elderly people. They should be enlightened enough to know that these things is expected, right? Is expected amongst the elderly, whereby it is okay for them to age with grace. It is okay for them to exhibit some signs of aging and all whatnot. Yes, so that's the kind of one of the changes I want to see. A situation whereby people will, we treat people with love. Even if, just imagine you come back from somewhere and you find like an elderly woman, in your living room sitting down. Yeah, right. The kind of change I want to see is the change whereby we will treat them with love. So ignorance will no longer be ravaging in our society, because I believe most of all those things are not even done because of hatred, because we are already biased to say that if you see an old woman in an ungodly hour, in an ungodly place, at a strange time, it means that there must be something. Do you get? So the change I want to see is the change whereby people will accept some certain things. People will be enlightened as to what is going on in their environment. You know, some necessary things that comes with aging, that not everything we see is all about witchcraft. So that's the kind of change I want to see. So I just, I had a heavy heart to pour this out today to, to ask everyone the question of what is the change you want to see. All right, I hope this message blesses you, and thank you so much for watching. All right, I'll see you guys in my next episode. Bye.